Hood Postman, City, Hood, Click. Let's go. So bam, we on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Lock the door on him. Lock the door on him. Hood Postman. Hood Postman. Reporting live. Reporting live. This the Hood Postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the whip with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the four corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told them no lie. Let's ride. Hood Postman. 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 Hood Postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when this dope content hit, it's going to feel like the first and the 15th. Welcome to the Mailroom, where you can come in and take a look at your mind and examine what's in your heart. It's not a glorification nor a glamorization. It's always an education. I'm the bus driver. Get on the bus and let me and Bam, matter of fact, Bam got a bus and I got a bus. We both gonna drive y'all to school. We gonna get y'all there. Let's do it. Let's go. I got the Bam in here. Before they had handguns, Bam, they had fair ones. We can go anywhere in the world to get a couple of lives, Bam, but we come right here with the Bam to get the truth, and he should drop that OG perspective. He gives the perspective like no other. So that's why we always got him in the mail room. Welcome to the Mailroom, the Bam.
What's up, Melly Mill?
Man, how you living? I'm gonna hit you like you living. How you living, Bam?
I'm good, man. I'm cool, man. Just tired. Good. I'm
This time,
good.
let me get a little more light on the subject, Bam. Hold on. Just a little tired, huh?
Yeah.
Man, you know what, Bam? Every day we hustling though, right?
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
Every
Bam,
day.
I want to start off by saying this. There's a lack of maturity on the internet, and it's for various reasons. And actually, it's kind of obvious. I mean, there's a lot of individuals that don't have that emotional intelligence, and they don't know how to curve it, and they just don't know how to deliver in a way without putting it over exalting their emotions. And we need more men to provide protection and family for the black, because the Black Power unit was always the structure, the foundation of the family. People, I mean, I don't know if youngsters know this, but the Black Power movement during that time was the function of the family unit as a one. And for some reason, we seem to have lost that. But I want to take it all the way back, ma'am. And what I want to do is talk about the 3 kings. I call them the 3 kings because in the streets of Los Angeles, Compton, Watts, there were 3 kings, and they did wrong. Raymond Lee Washington, Mac Thomas, Stanley Tookie Williams. Their names carved in stone, Bam. Literally, they shaped a legacy that because they were the Mecca of Crippin. Okay, Bam. Yeah. I want you to go through each one, man, and just give your perspective, because you were in the company of all 3. I've only been in the company of 2, but you were in the company of all 3. I want to hear your perspective, because there's there's so much known about Raymond, but yet not enough said in the right perspective, because there's some people out there that actually, I'm gonna just put it out there, they be hating. But
Raymond, a lot of them hated him.
Go ahead, man.
A lot of people hated on Raymond, man. Especially the hate came after he died. The hate wasn't displayed. It wasn't verbally shouted when he was alive, because he could defend himself, right? But Raymond was a dude, man. This is my experience with him as a young dude. Had the pleasure and the honor of meeting him through my cousin Big Ali and Lil Ali, right? Raymond was a dude that respected the elders in the community. His intentions, this based on my interactions with him, not come word of mouth. His intention for Crip was to protect the community, not to destroy the community.
Again, I think he paused, you guys. Bam, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Raymond was a brother that respected the elders in his community. He respected the family unit. If you was a younger homie like me, when I used to give my mother and father hell, man, and Raymond be over my cousin Big Ali and Lil Ali in them house, and Raymond might hear about this through my cousins. My mama was already taking me over there for Big Ali and Lil Ali to get on me anyway. So, and Raymond would be a part of that. Mac would be a part of that, because Mac and my cousins and them ran together. So, and trust me, man, them dudes, they was well respected. Tookie, on the other hand, was well respected. Tookie, watch this. Although he went to jail, got executed and all that, Tookie had some humility in him. He was a humble brother. And a lot of people don't know this. Like, I remember one time, man, I was at the boys' home, and I was messing with this dude named Wayne that was in the group home. And I had ditched the group home he was running after the Red House got closed down. It was on my street. So I went down there. We was ditching. Tookie was gone. Him and Jamel was gone. So we sitting up in there in the den part shooting dice. And man, Tookie came in there nonchalant, opened up the sliding window like, "What's up with y'all? What's up, little cousins? Like, what's up, Took? And man, you need to be hitting that gate. You need to be going to school." Because I supposed to have been in school. Dude was at home for whatever reason. Tookie knew he supposed to have been at home because he lived in the group home, right? So that's telling you he wasn't with a dude ripping and running the streets or ditching. Raymond wasn't with that at all. And them brothers, when they came up with the concept, when Raymond came with the concept and the creation of Crip, man, Crip was intended to protect the community, not to destroy the community. So we did ourselves a disfavor at destroying our community, killing each other, and all that. And if all three of these brothers, if all three of these brothers was alive today, trust and believe, they'll be active in the Crip collective.
Would it be fair to say he sought unity in the midst of despair? Because you got to know, at that time, during the 60s and 70s, there was a lot of despair in the black community because the Black Panther Party had failed. Go ahead,
man.
It
didn't fail. It didn't fail. It didn't fail. Branches of his tree
not failed, but not failed, but failed to the ground.
Right.
You know.
All right. Well, what a lot of people don't understand, man. After the Panther Party, every gang that got created after the Panther Party is a branch of the Panther Party. The gangs is some form of organization. You organizing something for the protection of the community. The Panther Party was for the protection of black people, right? Now, Crip was for the protection of Crips, but it was also for the protection of the black people that lived in Crip communities. as well as Bloods, was the protection of the black people that lived in their community. They didn't want outsiders to come inside of their community, no matter what color they was. They didn't want no outsider to come inside of the community and try to create no chaos. However, we did it a disfavor, and the disfavor, it ain't that the game then got watered down. There'll never be another Mac. It'll never be another Raymond. It'll never be another Tookie. These brothers is on a pedestal all on their own. Can't nobody emulate them, right? We might can say cuz like them, we might can shout Crip like them, but we can't emulate them.
You know, Tookie pen, we found out later that the pen he used held great power. And the reason why I say it held great power, because he was able to reach all the way to the diaspora, all the way to Asia, all the way to Europe, and his writers. And he probably even kind of surprised himself, because, because he was in darkness, let's say, but he embraced a new hour because he found himself in a cell, in a jail cell, in a tomb, per se, or tunica in a bathroom. But he found himself in a way that was so inspiring. What was your thoughts about that when you realized the power that he carried in his pen?
Well, I didn't see the power. I didn't see it in that ideology like that. But what he found to me was he found peace. He found the form of peace. He found something that made him happy. And his happiness is what became power. He turned all the sad shit with Crippin into some happy form where he's trying to show you, do as I say, not as I do. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what he used to try to tell the kids, and he tell them. But what other convict ever got nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, let alone Crip? Right? So yeah. Crip himself, and when I'm saying that to say this, look at all the idiotic ass Crips on YouTube. Are they worthy of being nominated?
No.
Right? Hell no, they not. So Tookie being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize is a reflection of every black convict, but especially the black Crip. You understand what I'm saying? It shows you that he went inside of prison on death row. And prison he beat prison, although he got executed. He showed you how to beat the system. He turned the system to a college term, right? And you said it best. He surprised himself because just sleeping his time off of buffing iron when he was up, he exercised the best thing he can exercise, his mental capacity. And he became somewhat brilliant, right? Brilliant in the sense that, like you said, he reached the world. The whole world know of Tookie. Watch this. The whole world, the United States knew of Crip. Tookie made Crippin universal. Everybody know about Crip because of Tookie. That's how they said. But you know what I mean? He had an intellect. He had an intellect that matched his intelligence. He was very intellectual inclined. And it's, all three of them brothers who named you, those are the kings of Crippin. It was an honor for me, as well as a privilege for me to be able to know them and be around them, especially Mac and Raymond.
When it came to Mac Thomas wasn't a tall brother, but he was a stout brother, but he was, cut up, muscular. I mean, he had that beat, but
that's
Mac
what Compton is.
Mac Thomas was a warrior with courage untamed. He stood tall in the face of all violence. That was Mac Thomas.
Yeah, watch this.
They get paused again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. He ain't never ran from it. He ran to it. You understand what I'm saying? And Mac was somebody that I looked up to. Mac and Raymond, I looked up to. They impacted my Crippin tremendously, man. When I look at my life today, I know they watching down from heaven, giving me my due. Like, hey, the boy he getting it together. Because trust and believe, man, these dudes left kids and grandkids.
William Fletcher, that's my guy Raymond Fletcher, that's his cousin. Mac was his cousin, the whole Thomas family.
Right. And Mac and them was watching down from a motherfucking floor, man. Seeing Bam doing this thing, Melly Mill doing this thing. They want to see they left kids and grandkids out here. So they looking down at Crippin and looking at Crippin as a big old black eye has been thrown on Crip. Based on how Crips is conducting themselves. Not all Crips, just, I'm speaking of the ones that I see on YouTube. They make Crip look bad. And Raymond and Mac, Tookie would go for that. And I'm gonna keep it 100. They was alive, would weigh some of these key ways of conducting themselves. Trust and believe, man.
Shout out to Inglewood Moments.
You can bet your bottom dollar that they would have been trying to find some type of way to get these dudes DP based on how they conducting themselves. Right? These dudes, not just keyways, Damus too, a lot of them is an embarrassment to their neighborhoods and what they represent. This is not what the founder had in storage for us to be comedians. And Crippin was meant to be, you had to be a gangster to be a Crip. You had to be a gangster to be a Damu. And these dudes ain't got that gangster in them. Tookie took gangsterism to a whole new level on the intellectual level. You understand what I'm saying? Tookie showed you the power of picking up a book. You understand what I'm saying? Half of these Crips don't do no reading. Half of these Damus don't do no reading. Because if they did a lot of reading, they'd change their life. If you don't seek knowledge, you're gonna be stuck in the same zone that you're in. You understand what I'm saying? And Mac and Tookie and Raymond was three individuals that they was with it no matter what it was. And I know for a fact, man, that these dudes, what about Mad Dog? Mad Dog was with it too. We ain't with Melly Mill make a title. It ain't like we trying to take a title from nobody, but I'm here to let you know that this my opinion, they number one OG. And the OG is Raymond. Now there, Mac brought Crippin to Compton, ran the west side. But Raymond brought Crippin to the streets. Without Raymond, wouldn't be Crip. So we don't take away from other people that ran with him. You can't forget Batman. You feel what I'm saying? But these three people here, man, I remember last time I took you on the streets, man. I ain't gonna tell you, man. I used to go to Centinela just like everybody else went to Centinela Park.
Right.
Just to see Tookie. Yeah, you was gonna see the pretty girls, you was gonna get in that. I went up there, find some cheese and all that. But this was what Tookie had. Brother Tookie was at the dogs and the bulls right there and all the pretty girls, right? But what we need to understand is jealousy and envy is what bring about the hate towards some of these brothers, especially Raymond. You understand what I'm saying? I had verbal altercations with people that's Raymond age in the penitentiary. I'll say some ill shit about Raymond. I'll be like, don't hear that shit, pump your motherfucking brakes. You understand what I'm saying? Because Raymond them was true, them was diehard true to the blue Crips right there, man. They didn't put no Mac, Tookie, and Raymond. It wasn't no blemish on them to me. Now somebody else might.
And you know what the amazing thing? All them dudes was fighters, though, Bam. They was fighters.
Without a doubt. But you get some of these dudes. A lot of dudes didn't know them. They heard of them, Melly Mill. See, this what people don't get. A lot of dudes heard of them. Hey man, I ain't never seen an inmate walk in the hallway smoking a cigarette in LA County Jail. Chelsea took with his cuffs, wrist chain, in the hallway, smoking a motherfucking cigarette, getting escorted back to the house. I ain't never seen that, right? Tookie, this one don't nobody know either, man. Tookie wanted peace amongst us. Tookie didn't want the Crips and Bloods continue going at each other. He was with Crippin. He told me, in order for it to be peace amongst Crips and Bloods, it must be peace amongst Crips first. That was one thing they didn't. Mac wasn't here, Raymond wasn't here, but they would not appreciate or love or like what Crips is doing to each other, right? And they well respected. They was respected, not just through Crippism, but through some of their enemies respecting them. You know, when motherfuckers that knew Mac that was from the opposite set, hey, they'll tell you a story about Mac Thomas and you get goosebumps on him. You're like, damn, he was that raw? You understand what I'm saying? Same with Raymond. You know, somebody say, oh, Raymond wasn't with it, he was just with the fist play. Those is people who didn't know Raymond personally. Raymond was with whatever presented towards the business, and people just didn't get that. You understand what I'm saying? So, dudes, them was some awesome brothers, man. Raymond hung in Compton. Raymond hung in Compton. I was
just getting ready to mention that, Bam. That's the unique thing that we have in Compton, that all three of them dudes hung in Compton.
I don't be trying to take nothing from nobody when I say this. But Compton is the pimping. We was the pimping and Crippin. We was always structured as one, although we had individuality sets. See the difference, like LA got 60s, East Coast Hoovers, all different sets, but and all of them got the same last name. Compton all had the same last name, and we fell into a unit. You understand what I'm saying? Until we started beefing amongst each other. Before the beefing was going, everybody admired the way Compton Crips was cripping, right? And that's how, watch this, that's when you get dudes like BJ, Cute, Sumo, Scory, Ant, Marcellus and them, Russell Capers and them, and numerous other G's.
In the chat.
What's up, big homie? And say real talk. Mad Dog wasn't around long. He didn't have the love from all. Hey, watch this. I'm glad
I lost you, Bam. I can't hear you, Bam. I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can anybody hear me in the chat?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
But you can't hear me.
No, I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I see your guy, Tazo TV, say shout out to the band.
Shouts out. But anyway, what I'm saying is, we was the pimping and Crippin and Marcellus now and other G's I was mentioning. They tried to keep what the structure of Crip was, a well-grinded machine, and in some type of way we lost focus. Watch this. I can't blame it on the generation before me, because I learned from the generation before me. I learned from Marcellus, Sumo, and them, Mac and them, Raymond. So what I throw at people now is what I was taught the way Crippin was supposed to be, to protect your community, without destroying your community, to protect another brother unless that brother is your enemy. And today, I don't consider no black man my enemy, but today's form of gang banging is totally different. These dudes, I ain't talking about all of them. I'm an OG baby Crip, Belly Mill. These dudes can't walk a mile in Baby Crip shoes. They can't walk a mile in Marcellus and them, the OG's shoes. I'm under Marcellus to them. I can be. They can say I'm not a G, because that's that. But at the same time, although I say that's a title earned, not given, I still conduct myself the way they taught me to conduct myself. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I don't bow down from nothing. That's why today I know to have a verbal altercation without no violence being threatened. Like, hey, brother, you don't want to do this. I ain't, watch this, man. I ain't never seen Mac or Raymond or Marcellus and them put it on no hood.
Nope.
I ain't never heard them say that.
You'll never hear that from them.
Yet you get these young dudes that say that and don't mean it, right? Half of these dudes don't know. They don't respect.
During our time, if you said that, you better mean it, because if you didn't, you're gonna get an issue.
That goes without saying. Watch this, man. Like when you did it on the Compton Crip guys, right? I don't care what nobody say. That was our Crip guy in my era. From Marcellus to Antisumo, Heron, right? And from CC Rodder, I'm saying CC Rodder now, but before Marcellus and them came up with the concept of CC Rodder. If Marcellus and them would have seen dudes, yeah, I'm with it. You know, every dude that you always say, man, when I see this motherfucking Melly Miller, bam, I'm gonna get on him. Marcellus and them was them type of big homies that when they seen us performing like that, well, here this dude is, it's time for you to perform. You understand what I'm saying? See, that's where the hate came in towards Mac, Raymond, Tookie them. Because these dudes, they had these dudes around them. They wanted to be a Crip, but they wanted to be more than a Crip. They wanted to be King Crip. Everybody can't be a... They really don't get it. They turn their nose up to bullshit. And I never been one to do that. I respect my elders when it came to Crippin. I respected how my big homies. And when I say my big homies, I got a lot of big homies that's older than me. I'm 63 years old. I ain't gonna never stop saying I ain't got no big homie. You know what I mean? A lot of these youngsters see the difference between me and them, and with Marcellus and Mac and them in my era was Melly Mill, and me and your era. See, we was willing to be taught. We was willing to be the teacher,
right?
Being the student. We was willing to be a student. And if you're willing to be a student, you're going to end up being a successful teacher. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody can't teach. You can't teach if you wasn't a hell of a student. But some of these dudes don't get that. You understand what I'm saying? And if Mac, again, go back to when Mac and Raymond and Tookie was living, all this disrespect that's going down, a lot of people would have been having something to say about it. A lot of big homies was booked when this generation came in, and they like, and baby having run. That's right. I can go for that. I can go for that. Well, watch this. Every generation got some of the other generation in them. We can't keep making excuses on why something ain't right. You understand what I'm saying? See, my firm belief is that a lot of these dudes, when a lot of them was locked up, them dudes wasn't OG nothing. Them dudes came off the porch when the crack epidemic came, and them was the dudes that had them good ass jobs that wasn't gang banging in school. Then they got on them drugs and they forced to move back to their mama house, and they knew the homies' kids. And they told them stories of their daddies and their mamas. So the homies embraced these dudes and looked at these dudes like they were some OGs. And they wasn't OGs, because that's a title earned, not given. And a lot of these brothers, even today, on YouTube, it should be some more responsible G's stepping to the plate. Bam and Cubes can't do it. Bam and Melly Mill can't do it. It should be some more responsible OGs stepping to the plate, telling these youngsters that, hey, man, Crip business is crip business. It ain't matter where you from or what. Elder Crip should get at you and give you game on what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. People is not willing to be educated or schooled no more, man. Right. They want to do it based on their own.
It ain't the fact that they ain't got no say or sway. It's the fact they don't want to waste no time on individuals that's steeped and embedded in ignorance. Because the two most dangerous things in the world is sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. It's hard to break through with individuals that's suffering from those two side effects. And Bam, no, I mean, because we can talk till we black and blue. If they don't get what we're saying or they don't comprehend, you got guys now, right now, in the younger generation, you can talk to them, and they won't even comprehend nothing that's being said because they got 4 and 5 word vocabularies. Their vocabularies is very limited. Listen to what Crip Mac is saying. Listen to what Brick Baby is saying. Their range in vocabulary is not that wide.
Well, I don't understand why, right? That these brothers don't want to seek knowledge, but want to seek stupidity. So I can't co-sign that, right? Even when I was a young dude gangbanging, some stupid, right? Saying anything stupid. These dudes, it finally hit me like a ton of bricks. This is a new era of tripping. This whole era of tripping, not this generation of tripping. It's an era of tripping. It's an era of Damuism. And these dudes, everybody that's representing Trip, that's shooting at a Trip, ain't no real Trip. Every blood that's representing blood and shooting and killing the blood, ain't no real blood. Now they can take that and might marinate on what I'm saying. Because just watch this. Ain't nobody heard of Raymond and Mac killing no Crips. You ain't heard that.
Right.
You ain't heard Mac pulling up in no hood, Raymond pulling up in no hood. Now, because they didn't have no problem with fighting people, but I can tell you this. Now, one of them 3 individuals are also what I was saying on the live. I deleted my live because I wasn't at my best tonight. You wouldn't have seen, could no other race.
That stay out of LA politics is a new thing, Chucky. Because we function so well together. See, we come from that old 70 era where we all function as one. It wasn't no separation. So we were, whatever Crip business was Crip business. And that's something new that the youngsters added to where I guess it keep them limited, it keep them closed off. It keep them beefing. It keep them beefing because they can, use that as a tactic to say, you ain't in my, you shouldn't, because they don't want to be admonished. They don't want to be set aright. They don't want to be pulled up on what on their behavior. Because one of my first things I did, and Tookie admonished me. I would call it a DP. He didn't put his hands on me or nothing like that, but he corrected me in something I did wrong, and then explained to me why he did what he did. And that's what the dudes used to do back then. And Bam can speak to that.
I don't know why these dudes want to be. If I'm from Compton, I can't get in no Crip business from a Crip in LA. Where the fuck I'm really from? I'm from LA County. They business reflect my life. You understand what I'm saying? See, this is what people don't get, man.
And Marcellus say never, because he ran with Tookie, Raymond, Lil James, and Mac, Tookie.
You feel me? What I'm saying is, that's our business, that's Crip business. Now, some people use that for a weak way out. Man, well, if you saying that's your hood business, you ain't got no hood. The hood ain't representing you. You supposed to be representing. The hood don't carry you. You supposed to carry the hood on your shoulders. You the one missing from in your hood. But see, at the same token, the same dude is telling you to stay out their business will be the same brother hollering in jail, man. I know you got my back, man. My enemies in here, man. They might be trying to get on me. And I don't want to hear that shit. That's that sucker shit coming out these dudes' mouth. You ain't got no money. How you got this your hood business, you don't even go in your hood? If this your hood business, go in your hood. You ain't got no hood business. And this what people don't get either, Melly Mel. Crip business is Crip business. It's Crip's business. Because it reflects on all Crips. Another Crip can get killed based on what another Crip does. It don't care what set he from. You understand what I'm saying? They don't care what set you from. Oh, but it's a new era. It's a new era, man.
And if you in the pen, whether you from Compton, Long Beach, Pacoima, or Linwood, or Gardenia, if you're a Crip and the Crips done something, they coming at who, man? Everybody, right? They ain't looking for that specific one. The same thing with the Damoos.
And that's what people don't seem to get. So it's easy to say that, but ask these dudes when they say stay out my hood business. Ask them, do they go to their neighborhood, man? Because they sure ain't handling their business. You understand what I'm saying? I be so sick and tired of brothers putting 100% of energy into all the negative shit. Don't want to put 100% in nothing positive. You understand what I'm saying? And if that's what you call being down, man, I'm glad I wasn't born in that era because I wouldn't be down with that. I wouldn't be down with that. To me, that's some of that is busted shit. That's coward shit. That's Mark shit. You understand what I'm saying? These dudes always saying not their business. What's their business? Hey man, half of these dudes don't love their own neighborhood, Melly Mel, because they did that be conducting themselves a little bit better. Our culture is watered down structurally. Same thing happened with gangs. That's what happened in black families. Most youngsters don't have respect for the elders. See, I got to respond on that. What era is he talking about? You see, I listen to my black family. I still listen to the people in my family. What era is he talking about? Same thing happened with gangs is what happened in the black family. Most youngsters don't listen. Hey, watch this, man. Youngsters, watch this. We can't point the finger at youngsters all the time. You got some old dudes ain't out here listening. Some youngsters conduct themselves better than old dudes. And people don't seem to get that either. You understand what I'm saying? See, I'm one of these dudes that don't point the finger at the youngsters because I played a role in telling them youngsters, don't let nobody punk you. Don't let nobody press you. And by any means necessary, get that win. You understand what I'm saying? See, I played a role in some of that shit. Now I'm trying to straighten some of that shit up. Well, I've been on the yard in the feds and was at a standoff, Compton against LA, and wasn't with it over some bullshit. And it goes down like that. See, he just kept it 100. You understand what I'm saying? But we all need to know, man. Watch this. In the state penitentiary, let me share this with you. In California Department of Corrections, Compton had other sets backs that wasn't Compton Crips. Once we embrace you, you embrace. So don't sit up and, hey, what's up, DJ Vegas? Sit up and say who's in the wrong business, who ain't should be in their business. As a black man, we should all be in one another's business to try to save the black race. So all that other shit, I look at it as like it's watered down. You understand what I'm saying? And it ain't no form of respect for what we trying to do. And people don't seem to get that. You know? A lot of these cats was has no structure. Exactly. Everybody say that this era is lost with the structure. They don't have none. Most people, watch this, man. Whether people believe it or not, people are very afraid of structure, man. Why do you think they ran away from home? They was afraid of structure. They're afraid of structure, man. Structure will put a person in, will put things in its perspective. So people don't want structure on the streets. And it ain't just the youngsters. You got some old dudes out here don't want this structure. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always on the youngster, man. We can't just point the finger at the youngsters. The youngsters is being misled by who? Some older cats.
Well, they never came from a disciplined home, Bam, so they don't know structure. They never was in a I came from a disciplined home. You came from a disciplined home. You know?
Yeah.
There were structures in our home.
And a lot of them don't want to respect OGs because their daddies wasn't in their life. They don't respect their daddy. So how they gonna respect somebody their daddy age or look like their daddy when they don't even respect their damn self? See, this is what people don't get either, man. This is what people don't get either. But it's these youngsters, I believe 85% of these youngsters in this new era is reachable and teachable. And we got to come with a solution that's trying to reach them and giving them the ideologies that we was given. You know, we can't talk to them. We can't talk at them. We got to go talking to them. If we go up in there aggressive, well, they're going to be aggressive too. We got to learn and figure out how to bring them to the table. If we don't bring them to the table, man, it's going to be a problem. And that's what people don't get, man.
You're right, Raymond. There was a time when the community could discipline you, and we lost that somewhere. Yeah, we lost get on you. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't got my ass whooped by a few of my neighbors. Got checked by a few of them outside of the community, thinking I wasn't nobody watching me, and I got seen and they got checked. So he absolutely right on that. Watch this, man. It's a proven fact it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a village to keep the village intact. We have lost the village to bullshit. We need to reclaim and re-own the village.
But it also say a child will burn down the village who doesn't feel embraced just to feel its warmth.
Watch this. That's what they doing now, Melly. Now, yeah. That's what they doing now.
Yes.
And they crying out. Watch this, man. Some people do shit because they don't know how to ask for help. So they bring attention on themselves, hoping the help just fall in their lap. Right? And that's sad. I was like that as a little dude. Like, man, I ain't know that. Hey, Melly, check this out, man. I need to talk to you about something. I'm going through some shit. Because I'm embarrassed to do that. So I'm going to act out knowing you're like, hey, man, what's going on with you? Something wrong? And that's what a lot of these dudes is doing. They acting out. And they want proper guidance. And the only people and the people that can give them guidance is the ones that's criticizing them. Watch this, man. Can't no motherfucker ain't never love you, respect you, give you no constructive criticism. Only person that give you some constructive criticism is the person that love you or respect you. If that person don't know you, he can't give you no constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is meant for you to grow off that. Not to belittle yourself off of it, to grow, not to fall doing what you're saying, doing. And people don't get that. They don't get it, man. They don't get it.
Bam, together, Tookie, Raymond, Mac, they forged a path that was unapologetic and bold. What happened to that unity? What happened to that strength? What happened to that dynamic where dudes was like really trying to, show their athleticism, their boldness, they eager to be, to conquer.
Hey, check this out, man. Once the crack epidemic hit the community, all bets was off the table. Everybody lost focus. Not saying that people, it was the cause of being on dope. The crack academic gave certain Crips power because they had the sack, they had the money. Without that power, without the sack, they don't have power. And most dudes look at money as power, right? It shouldn't be a broke Crip in America. It shouldn't be a broke blood in America. Because every hood got at least 4 or 5 millionaires, plus some, right? But they forget where they come from. Drugs divided our community. It divided gang banging, and it made gang banging worse. Gang banging, well, don't nobody might not want to believe this, man. Gang bang was damn near not dying out, because it's gonna always be here. But it was low key playing, it was dropping its tune of violence like 78, 79, 80, 81. Motherfuckers was getting money. They started hustling. You had Crips that was older than me and you that was no longer gang banging no more. They got started selling PCP. They got that Master Chef game. Learned how to cook that water. And
You know,
no.
you know what's crazy, Bam?
Yeah.
Not only is the gangbangers have erratic behavior, even the police have it. The gangbangers will jump out and start shooting. The police will jump out and start shooting. Don't nobody communicate no more.
Well, I'd rather see them shooting at the police than shooting at each other.
No, what I'm saying though, the police is just as scary. They don't.
Yeah.
There was a time when the police would just roll up and jump out, and and holler. But now they just jump out and start shooting. Now they don't do that no more.
No, they don't. They don't.
They cowards. They're afraid.
Yeah, they more afraid of themselves than anybody else. Watch this, man. I don't even know why drive-bys are still going on, because the average motherfucker that do a drive-by, I don't even know why drive-by is still going on, Melly Mill, because the average motherfucker that do a drive-by, as soon as he get busted, he start telling.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So every other day you get some gangbanging exposing another gangbang on YouTube for being a rat. Gangbanging is not being taken serious. Blackness ain't being taken serious because don't nobody love their motherfucking self. If they love themselves, blackness would really be being taken serious. Because people is tired of the bullshit. And ain't nobody seeing that, man. A lot of these, I always say this, brothers need to start using their head more than a hat rack, man. More than a hat rack. We got to do better. I'm about to fall asleep on you too, Melly Mill.
I know you tired, man. Go on and get you some rest, bro.
Hey, yeah, we got to do this again too, man. When I really got, I call you every morning when I go to work, and I'll be there an hour early, but you just be getting to the yard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody else, y'all have a blessed day, man. Peace, OG. Love you, man. Later, Melly Mill.
Right on, Bam. Shout out to the Bam, man. Shout out to the Bam. I'm going to say this, man. The three kings in the streets of Los Angeles, Compton, Watts were three kings. They did wrong. Raymond, Washington, Mac Thomas, Stanley, Tookie Williams. Their names carved out in stone. They shaped a legacy that became the mecca of all Crippin, a place where their presence was left indelible gripping. Raymond, with the vision and a spirit unyielding, founder of the Crips, a brotherhood revealing, he sought unity in the midst of a world of division and despair. And in the Los Angeles Compton Watts heart, he planted a seed so rare. Mac Thomas, warrior, with courage untamed, stood tall with would face violence, unashamed. He fought for CC with honor and might, leading the way through the darkest of nights. Tookie, a legend whose pen held great power, turned away from the darkness, embraced a new hour. From the depths of his cell, he reached out with his voice to guide his lost souls to help them make a better choice. Together, they forged a path, unapologetic and bold. Their presence in Los Angeles, Compton, and Watts, a tale untold. Inspiring generations with united hearts, never to fold. In the hearts of the Mecca, the Crips found their home. The symbol of strength where seeds were sown, Compton, the city forever changed by the might. The testament to the kings who fought for the streets and their rights. So let us remember those three kings. Let us remember them in a way that's etched in our minds, that we give them love and gratitude. And I know, and I'm not trying to put no glorification on this. I'm just saying, as the men they were, the men that most of you guys didn't know, the human side of these guys, there was a different story to it because it's etched in history. History is not about what happened, only about what happened, but how you think about what happened. That's what history is. They roamed the streets, their legacy intact, forever revered, the kings of Crippin, and that's a fact. That's what I feel about it, you know, and I know people gonna differ with that or do whatever you want to do with it, but I'm just telling you, these guys were they're not the animals or the people a lot of people made them out to be. They was very caring. They love their baby Crips. Loved them, you know. And like Bam mentioned, he mentioned the crack cocaine era destroyed our whole black community. Destroyed us in a way that made us more deadly, more just not have no empathy, no remorse, nothing. Just made a whole lot of empty vessels out there. People were just harming people, hurting people, shooting people, doing damage, killing, robbing, murdering, just creating all kind of heinous crimes. And yet we have to sit here and still deal with this problem. I say close the books. Close the books. Close the books. Closing the books mean there be no more memberships. There's no more what they call infants or wherever they at, the infants. Close it right there. What could they do? What they gonna start there? Embryos and seeds now? We need to close the books on this. The Slosses, the businessmen, and the gladiators are now social clubs. They do great work in the community. I would like to see the Damus and the Keyways do that. Start doing the work of the community, being about the people, being about the children, being about the uplifting, education, motivation, leveling up, being the respecter of men. But anyway, that's my say. That's my take on it. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation. Shout out to Marlena Williams, Postmaster General. Shout out to Michelle. Raymond. Shout out to you, Gerald Parker. Michelle, DJ Vegas, appreciate you. Chami Rose, Asiatic Supreme, Rock In. Any questions before we get up out of here? Devon Cutmore, I like to get a few questions or anything that you guys have crackhead or addiction on both the users. And you're right. You're right. Because the guys, man, would be, you know, that money side and the drug addictive side. Yeah, it was both. It was addiction in both ways. But you know what was crazy about it though, TJ Vegas? There was no precedent. There was no precedent. Nobody knew the outcomes of how damaging and the severity and this, how addicted this drug would be and how it would ruin the community and ruin families. It's not, let me see what she say. It's not to go happen to many wannabe shot callers. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Nice work. Motivation, what's happening? Man, yeah, you mentioned my cousins yesterday. My cousin, he lost his life on the motorcycle, and my cousin Chad is doing real well, though. Shout out to you, Motivation. When the Raymond and Washington movie came out, you know what? That's a whole nother thing. I don't have no control of that. I don't know what's happening with it. Real Inglewood moment. Shout out to you. That's my guy over there. Shout out to Stan the Man, DJ Vegas. Any more questions? Factual, Professor. Very factual, Professor. Right on, man. Key Mike. I heard about the drug called Yeah. It's a drug. It's a tranquilizer. It's an animal tranquilizer out in Philly. Yeah, it's killing people, man. Yes, sir. I work at Compton Route. I figured that. I figured it was Compton Route. I wasn't for sure. I was just yeah. Just wasn't sure, bro. Appreciate you though. Thanks for tuning in and just supporting the show. You know, like I say, history not only about what happened, but how we think about what happened. Because history is medicine for a sick mind, which in history is a variety of human experiences we can teach from. But the two most dangerous things in the world are sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. The sincere ignorance is you just don't know. The conscientious stupidity, you know and you just don't care. And there lies the problem. Solo, what's happening? Yeah, that's the man. It has an evil. All drugs have an evil spirit, bro. All of them. All of them are very. Just look at what's happening with the fentanyl. You know, and so many people losing their lives, and they adding. There's a pharmaceutical fentanyl, and there's also a street fentanyl, and they're adding it and They put it on marijuana. They put it on cocaine. They mix it in various pills and they creating counterfeit pills, and people thinking they get one. You think they getting a perk, and you get a counterfeit pill that has fentanyl in it. Fentanyl is very, very deadly, very deadly. You know, we all start hearing about this stuff when we saw Michael Jackson die from the purple fall. Remember that purple fall? So prior to the '90s, prior to 2000, all in the '90s, all the way, but probably up to '99. A lot of the stuff that you hear about now, you never heard about it, bro. Never heard about it. It wasn't until the United States we moved over into the Afghanistan, and that's where most of the poppy plants are grown, is in Afghanistan. They have some go in China as well, but a great deal of it is grown right there in Afghanistan, the Golden Triangle. It made some a lot of money, but a lot of people suffered. See, that don't equate with me. It made some a lot of money, but more suffered. So I mean, you know, I get what you're saying, homie, but yeah, it made a lot of money for some, but way more suffered behind it. I would just rather it not even happen. I just think we could have figured it out. See, the thing about it, we had the best marketing skills. We have the best salesman abilities and pitches and all this stuff. We just had the wrong product. We're very business savvy, all that. Black people, I'm just talking, we do things. We make something out of nothing. We've been doing it for some time. Been reading 16, guys, go read the 1619 Project. Mind blowing. It's detailed accounts of everything that happened to black people in regards to the treatment, the brutality, the hanging, the castrations, the raping, the pillaging, the taking and stealing and theft of land, all that. It's a very, very, very detailed book on that. It shook me in my foundation, just, you know, going through it and reading it and just knowing all this stuff. You know, I knew a lot of the stuff, but the way the 1619 Project breaks it down, I never had a book so thorough in that regard, on that history. Never. It's very, very thorough, very thorough. So I just, anybody that like to read or like to understand history, I suggest you go get that book. Yeah, you're right, Solo. Let me see. You talking about. Only thing that the power is they can. I don't even understand what you're saying, Mark. That don't even make no sense. The game is to be sold, not not smoked. You funny. Facts. Can't party in 2003 like some of us did in the 90s. Even earlier 2000. Please leave the street pills alone. You're right. I read that 1619. Yeah. Very, very in depth. Very, very a lot of information. Even it goes back to even how the police became weaponized and how they're right to the day, how they have a disdain for black people and they're still operating under that same type of mentality. That's why the police department needs to be broke down and reestablished because they're still operating from militia, from strong bosses, strong man, and all these different type of things, the Ku Klux Klan and all these different groups that was targeting black people, burning black people homes down, taking their land and taking ownership of their property. There's a lot of property in the United States that has been stolen, literally stolen. And they sitting around thinking like there's, we shouldn't be talking about it. They don't want us to talk about it because it's going to bring up everything. That's why they don't want us to talk about it. He was Trump. Yeah, Trump was something else, bro. Yeah. Please read the 1619 project. You're right, AG. You're right. Definitely read it. DJ Vegas, read that book, bro. Shout out to the big Marcellus. Marcellus Robinson, what's up, big homie? But with that being said, man, I am Professor Melly Mail, the Hood Postman. You know the vibe. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below so when the dope content hit, it'll feel like the person that fit in. This is not a glorification or a glamorization. It is always an education. I'm the bus driver. Get on the bus and let me take you to school. Before they had handguns, they had fair ones. Man up. Back in the early days, everybody would man up. You had a different somebody, you manned up. Let's get back to something constructive. Let's build. Let's work together, and let's continue to encourage one another. With that being said,
for grind all the time, baby.
Yeah, Cali finest, baby. For grind all the time. Music money, got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the feds get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Marlon Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone.